What's up? All right. How you guys doing tonight? Coaster Daddy here. We have episode 4 of Coaster Cafe. And of course, if you guys have been here for the last couple weeks, you know how this is going to work tonight. Um Basically the show is going to be split up into two sections. I'm going to start with the intro and talking about what I'm drinking, and then we're going to discuss some news that I've gone through and looked at and discuss that a little bit. I'll discuss it with you guys. So we'll discuss some goings on in the amusement industry currently, and then we're gonna do that's gonna be the first 25 minutes or so, and then for about anywhere from 5-10 minutes or whatever, we're gonna do a trivia thing, and I'm gonna ask a couple questions. And then after that is going to be a Q&A where basically I just open everything up, and you guys just ask me whatever and we discuss and things like that. So I think you guys know pretty well how this works by now. So once again, Coaster Daddy here, episode 4 of Coaster Cafe. Let's get this started. So tonight I'm actually drinking some really good stuff. I have this Krispy Kreme classic brew coffee. I actually got this from Krispy Kreme when I was in Pigeon Forge. I love this Krispy Kreme coffee. It's when I was in Pigeon Forge over the holidays, like into December. Um, I actually went to a Krispy Kreme for the first time, actually, and I tried their coffee. It was so good. I bought a bag of it. This was like $6.99. So this is really good stuff. And tonight I'm sipping on that Krispy Kreme coffee out of my fancy mug here, Maverick. Of course, one of my favorite coasters. Why would it not be, So yeah, you guys like coffee? Krispy Kreme is really good. So, and it's not very expensive either, so that's good. So it's good to see all of you guys here. Hope all of your nights are going well. My day's been pretty good, somewhat uneventful, which is fine with me. Fine, uh, fine, pleasant Saturday. Hey guys. Oh, Coaster Camp, what's up? All right, guys. So I got to give Coaster Camp a shout out here. Coaster Camp actually released his very first YouTube video today. It's pretty exciting. He did a review of Maverick actually, so it's very fitting since I have this mug today. But Coaster Camp, his name's Evan. He did a review of Maverick. He was asking me about how to get his channel started and stuff like that a few months back, and he's gotten everything together, and he has more videos coming out soon. And that first video that he released today is excellent. So you guys should definitely go check out Coaster Camp. Go support him. He did a fantastic job, and I can't wait to see what he gives us in the future. So make sure you guys go support Evan at Coaster Camp. All right. And he's in here with us tonight, so it's good to see him. Yep. Make sure you go check it out. Coaster Camp again. That's Coaster Camp. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you guys for supporting him. All right. So we have some news here. I have quite a few things listed here that I figured we could talk about tonight. So Orion has finished vertical construction at Kings Island. You know that Giga Coaster in Ohio? Yeah, that's done. So the track is complete. As far as I know, the trains aren't on it yet. Maybe that's changed. They finished vertical a couple days ago, but vertical construction is complete. It looks amazing. I can't wait to get out to Orion. I think I'm actually going to be going to Kings Island opening weekend and riding Orion on April 11th, which is opening day. I haven't really experienced an opening day for a major coaster yet. So I just figured it'd be cool to check that out. It's not that far, so drive 3.5 hours and get to experience Orion, and it should be a great time. So, if any of you guys are at Kings Island opening day, April 11th, I believe I will be there. So, I'm definitely looking forward to that. So, I haven't really done any sort of thing like announcing my 2020 plans or whatever, but um, yeah, I'll probably be at Kings Island April 11th. All right. So, another news thing we have here. By the way, I got all of this stuff off of Screamscape. A lot of you guys probably already know what screamscape.com is. It's a great website for the latest news and rumors and stuff like that. Pretty reliable actually too. And actually I as long as I've known about and been into coasters, I've never really been a big frequenter of Screamscape. But, that changed actually when I started doing these live streams and I would look at, like, news things to talk about. Screamscape is a great website and it's updated really frequently. So, Screamscape, if you guys wanna go check it out, all of this stuff is on Screamscape and it's all stuff from, like, the last week. So, yeah, so, Adirondack Outlaw, the new ride for Great Escape, which is, of course, a Six Flags park in New York, one of the smaller Six Flags parks. Adirondack Outlaw, their new for 2020 ride that was announced. You guys probably heard about some of the controversy with that. Basically, we have more locals that, live around an amusement park complaining about noises and seeing things. They didn't want to be able to see this ride outside of the park, basically. So Six Flags had to get a new location approved, and that has been approved. So thankfully, Great Escape will be receiving a new ride. And I actually think it looks pretty awesome. When I was watching the Six Flags 2020 announcements, I was thinking like, wow, this is actually oh, I was thinking this is actually a pretty good addition for a park like Great Escape because you guys know Great Escape never gets anything. So for them to get a major thrill ride like this is actually pretty cool, I think. So props to Six Flags, and I'm glad they got the permits in order. Um, I don't know why Six Flags announces things that haven't completely passed, um, past approval yet. Hey, what's up, Theme Park Media? Good to see all you guys here. But yeah, Adirondack Outlaw, Great Escape, that is happening in 2020 for sure. So they have a new ride coming. I don't know. I can't remember exactly. SNS makes it actually, but it's like it's just like this giant arm that goes way up in the air, and it has like 8 seats on it, and it just like spin. I don't know. Just go watch a video of it. I don't know how to describe it, but not that knowledgeable about my flat rides. Oh, Coaster Lover 2001 here. I just want to single his comment out here. He says, last week I posted some royalty. I'm assuming he means royalty free POVs to my channel from my trip to posting royalty free POVs and footage of roller coasters to my channel. So thank you for doing that. And that's that's awesome. These channels are starting to get on board now and just putting all these things out there for any coaster YouTuber to use. Cause as you know, it's hard to find footage sometimes. I know this is kind of going off on a tangent, but I'll make it short. Um, but yeah, Airtime Thrills has Airtime Thrills um, raw footage channel now where you can just use any of that footage from him. He's always let anybody use his footage without permission. Just give him credit for it, just be courteous about it. And actually, if you guys don't know, Coaster Hipster is an amazing channel, really underrated channel, and not enough subscribers. Coaster Hipster is a great channel, and he also posts a lot of no copyright footage as well onto his channel. So that's really awesome, and his footage is really good too. So if you guys haven't checked out Coaster Hipster, be sure to do that. Yeah, Stanford Bridge, yeah, Coaster Hipster, one of the best channels out there. He has some of the best reviews, in my opinion. He doesn't post a lot, but yeah, Airtime Thrills, yeah, one of my favorite channels for sure. So, moving on to the next news item here. Conneaut Lake Park, their revenue was up in 2019. So in 2019, altogether, like including the amusement park, the campground, the hotel, everything like that, everything associated with Conneaut Lake Park, they made $1.3 million in a year in 2019, which was more than 2018, where they just made $1 million. Um, it seems like they're doing well. They're starting to get back up on their feet again, which is great to see. They paid off their overdue tax debt apparently, so they're making great strides forward, and it's really good to see. Conneaut Lake Park was in very bad disrepair. Um, just 10, 12 years ago, I actually my parents took me and my brother, and we volunteered and helped like clean up the park a little bit back in 2007. It was a mess. It was absolutely run down. I mean, it was abandoned for probably a couple years at that point, where it had been shut down, and that park was a mess. And I went in 2019, and I was so surprised and so happy to see. um a lot of people make fun of it and everything because they say it's kind of rinky dink and it's run down. And yeah, it's not like the best park or anything. It doesn't have the best operations, but they're working on it, and the park, trust me, the park looks so much better now than it used to. I mean, really it looks great. They're getting everything together. They're freshening everything up, and I think it looks great. They're doing a great job with it, and it looks like they're going to continue forward with that. And it's good to see a classic park like that with such a rare coaster in Blue Streak, continuing to make moves forward. So, really excited to see that for Conneaut Lake Park. All right. So, Walt Disney World. Um, this probably isn't any surprise to anybody. More price increases are coming soon, and Screamscape said possibly as early as February 1st, which is today, actually. So I don't know if those price increases happened or not, but more price increases. And like I said, not surprising. Stuff like this happens all the time. Um, they have a lot of new stuff going on. So yeah. And the thing is, Disney, obviously, it's really expensive, but you know what? People pay for it. As long as people are still paying to go there and they're still making, a shit ton of money, they're still going to be charging just as much, raising their prices, and people are still going to pay. It's a business, and I know a lot of people complain about the price increases, but they have to do some crowd control too. This is something I think a lot of people just kind of don't think about when they complain about prices. Just imagine it's insane now. Right now, it's busy. It's a really busy place. Any of the Disney parks. Just imagine if the tickets were way cheaper than they are. I mean, it would be absolutely nuts. So it's been like this for a long time. It's just the kind of place where you got to save up for years to go if you're, the common person. Going to theme park crazy, or theme park crazy. Theme park media. Zach is going to Disney in April. So cool. Hopefully you have a good time there. Hopefully it's not too expensive for you. Um, yeah. But I think it's worth it though. When you go somewhere like Disney and you're getting a whole day's worth of entertainment, and this really goes for any park too, even at the regional level. Um, you know, you're paying, like, when you go to Cedar Point, if you pay like the regular front gate and one day admission price, which is like $73, like, I mean, I guess that, like, yeah, that's a lot of entertainment, rides, and it's really really not that bad for everything that you get. So, um, yeah, I don't know. Just I don't know exactly where I'm going with that, but I'm just saying, it's really not that bad. Like amusement park prices that people sometimes complain about. All right, so I have one more thing here that I wrote down, and honestly, this seems like a really slow sort of news week in a way. I'm not even familiar at all with this park. Obviously, I've never been here. It's Lightwater Valley in the UK. Um, Apparently, Lightwater Valley is removing two rides, and I have the names of the rides here. It's the Twister Coaster. I'm not sure exactly what that is, but the Twister Coaster was involved in an accident recently, apparently, and they're looking at removing that. And Apollo is also getting removed, which is a mini Starflyer from AK Rides. So, if you guys have anything to add about that, be my guest. I don't really know anything about Lightwater Valley besides the Ultimate. So, I know it's in the UK. I know the Ultimate's one of the longest coasters in the world. How all you guys doing tonight? I see some new people coming in here. Hope you guys are doing well. So, excuse me. All right. Is there any other news things that you guys want to talk about? I know there's a lot of things going on, really, but those are just some of the things I looked at. Stamford Bridge says, I worry about the longevity of Lightwater Valley. It has been shrinking. Yeah, the article on Screamscape actually mentioned something about that as well. That's unfortunate to see. Um, it doesn't really seem to bode well necessarily. Like I said, I don't really have anything else to add, though. I don't know anything about that park. Oh, yes. Trains on Emperor. Yes, that's a thing. The trains are now on Emperor, the B&M dive coaster. So that's pretty cool. And Iron Gwazi, yeah. We actually discussed that on last week's live stream, the trains being on Iron Gwazi. So I know there's some kind of you know what? Okay, there's a survey about Carowinds out right now too, where they're asking people essentially they're asking people to choose between two different themes. Um there's an aviation theme, and there's also it's like some kind of industrial art theme. I'm for the aviation theme all the way. I think like the industrial art thing is just like I don't know. It's not completely clear. It doesn't seem very cohesive. It doesn't seem they could really do a lot with that unless they really like go all out like with their budget, which Cedar Fair is not going to do. It's a Cedar Fair park. I think the aviation theme would make a lot more sense with the history of that area, and it would also be so much easier to incorporate into the park and what it is now. And it'd be more immersive. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. There he is. Insane Coaster Junkie. Hello from my stream. Stop stealing my stream. LOL. You won't get your Waldemir cookie. LOL. Insane Coaster Junkie, you're stealing my stream, okay? You even said I inspired you. So you're stealing my stream right now, aren't you? You little you're not getting your Waldemir cookie, sir. But I hope all of your viewers that are watching my stream from your stream right now are doing well, because that's the kind of guy I am. Even though you're stealing my viewers, I still wish them well. That's the kind of guy I am. So, if you're watching this still, even if you're not, that's you got to respect that, man. So, oh yeah, isn't good old Six Flags? Great Adventure just beginning to do footers for Jersey Devil. Yeah, it's not. There's no way it's going to be open in June when I'm supposed to be going to Great Adventure. There's no way. Like, maybe they'll start vertical construction by then. I don't know. Kyle, you're going in late June. I mean, there's a little bit more hope for you, but I don't think it's going to be open still. Being completely real with you, so yeah. So Insane Coaster Junkie says, in all seriousness, thank you for your support for my channel. Hopefully your channel grows and my streams are not stolen and I get my cookie. If this was a perfect world, Jay, you know, my channel would continue to grow, and I think it will continue to grow. I think yours will continue to grow. But there it's not a perfect world and there has to be sacrifices made somewhere. Um I think you're going to continue to steal my streams, and I don't think you're going to get your cookie because this is not a perfect world. So, sorry to tell you that. Man, you guys make me want cookies. ICJ is better. LOL. Great channel. I mean, hey, I he's great at what he does. What can I say? It's your opinion, That's cool. He'll probably sucker you guys with cookies. He'll probably give all of his subscribers a cookie just to probably try to steal all my subs too. Give everybody free cookies. Oh, Gary T here says all the supports are on site for Jersey Devil. Well, that's good. That at least the supports are on site. I guess that's a good sign. Yeah. I know I've heard that I don't really follow construction that closely, but I've heard that the RMCs actually do go up really quick. But even still, this is I'm going to Great Adventure the second week of June. It's February 1st right now. They've just started doing footers apparently. I don't think it's going to be ready. There's no way. Thoughts on Mind Blower? Never ridden it. Looks great though. Yeah, I don't know why Six Flags does that. It's crazy. And it's not a new thing either. They've been doing it for years. Thoughts on Orion being a budget giga? I actually did a video shortly after the announcement. But it's, to me, enthusiasts made this whole idea of Orion being a huge, massive giga, like record breaking stats. And enthusiasts are the ones who hyped everything up and made it seem like it would be all this. And the park never hinted towards that being the case. Enthusiasts are the root of all of their own problems when they argue about this. It's so stupid. They get so bent out of shape about it. Some enthusiasts are just ridiculous. Like, here's the thing. Do you consider Apollo's Chariot a hyper? Because it's only 170 feet tall. Do you consider Magnum a hyper? Because it only has a 195-foot drop. Do you consider you know, Phantom's Revenge to be a hypercoaster or not. It's only 160 feet tall. You know, you can't have these double standards all the time. It's just like, you know, and why argue about it so much? Either way, it's going to be a fantastic ride. It looks amazing. It's huge. I mean, whatever you call it, it's a huge ride. Um, to me, though, it's a giga. It has a 300-foot drop, like no question about it. So, and yeah, oh, it looks amazing. I can't wait to ride it. So, I mean, I don't think it's going to be anywhere near like, a Fury 325, but it is what it is. I think it could be better than Leviathan. I've never been on Leviathan, but Leviathan looks amazing. I've heard it's a fantastic ride, and I think Orion could potentially be a little better than that. So, what's up, CT Coasters? Oh, by the way, I'm repping my Ravine Flyer 2 shirt. So, I've had this for a long time. Pretty cool shirt. So, yeah, exactly. Stamford Bridge. I mean, that's all you need to see right there. Stats and labels don't determine whether a ride will be great anyway. Exactly. I mean, look at Maverick. Look at it. Look at it. Just look at it. Would you look at this? It's one of the best rides in the world, and it's only 105 feet tall. It's not even a hyper. It's not a giga. It's just a 105-foot tall Intamin Blitz coaster that is absolutely freaking nuts. So yeah, Ravine Flyer 2, one of the best rides out there. Stamford Bridge, what do you rank Ravine Flyer at roughly? Um, so you've been on 555 coasters. Where do you have Ravine Flyer 2 ranked? I am going to do the trivia, all right? I'm getting to it. We're going to do that real shortly here actually. So, vortex replacement, go watch my video I did. I outline all my thoughts on that. So, that was, shortly after the announcement of Vortex's removal. Oh yeah, that's another thing I forgot. Vortex is probably completely demolished now. So that's kind of sad. Including that historic station that also housed the Bat station, the original Bat. So all right, guys. So are you ready for trivia? Who's ready to do the trivia now? Okay, Ravine Flyer 2 is still a top 20 for you. That's awesome. Awesome to see. All right. So we're going to move on to trivia now. I have a couple trivia questions here. The first one, all right. So I had the chance about 10 years ago to visit the fourth oldest operating amusement park in the US. What is the fourth oldest operating amusement park in the US? The fourth oldest operating amusement park in the US. Not Dorney. All right. Good night, Ismail. I'm sorry. I still don't know exactly how to say your name. Good seeing you here though. Not Knots. Not Knots is nowhere near one of the oldest actually. Well, I mean, I know it has you know, I mean it's an old park, but nowhere near one of the oldest. Not Kennywood. Good guesses. We have some good guesses here, but nope. It's a park that a lot of you probably won't think of it from memory because it's just not like it's not any kind of destination park even for enthusiasts. So it's it's not Knoebels, no. It's a park that probably pretty much all of you have heard of, but you may not know a lot about it. It's just kind of like it's there. It's very family oriented, and they don't see a lot of investment. So yeah, Cedar Point's the second oldest in the US. So Valley Fair, no. Conneaut Lake Park, no. Waldemere, no. Conneaut Lake Park again, no. Not Elitch Gardens either, no. The fourth oldest operating amusement park in the US. Not Dorney. That's a great guess. I figured a lot of people might say that, but no. Good to see you, Cyberfox, by the way. Nope. This is a park that none of you guys are going to think of. You would probably have to look at the list to think of this because nobody's going to think of this park. It's just like it's just there. A lot of you guys probably haven't been there because there's not honestly any real reason to go. So just being honest, not Magic Springs, not Lake Compounce is the oldest, actually, is the number one oldest operating park in the US. But I'm looking for the fourth oldest. All right. I'm going to give you guys the answer now. Okay. Um, all right. So the fourth oldest operating amusement park in the US is Idlewild in Ligonier, Pennsylvania, which opened May 1st, 1878. They have currently, and for a very, very long time, they've had two roller coasters. The Rolo Coaster, which is it's honestly a great wooden family coaster, really old ride. And also they have the Wild Mouse, and it's the Wild Mouse actually that was at Alton Towers, so it's relocated from Alton Towers, and it's really unique because it has the tilted lift hill, so you're banked sideways as you're going up the lift hill, and I guess that's because of where it was originally at before Alton Towers. It was like built inside, or it like had a tunnel around it or something. So Idlewild is the fourth oldest, behind Lake Compound, Cedar Point, and Six Flags New England. So, nope. Yeah, somebody else said that too. Two people have said that. Okay, it goes Cedar Point, or no. Lake Compounce is the first oldest. Second and third is actually Cedar Point and Six Flags New England. They both opened in 1870, so they both opened in the same year. Of course, Six Flags New England wasn't called that in 1870, but and then fourth is Idlewild. Yeah, Six Flags New England was very close. Yes, good guess, but yeah, and Idlewild, it's a good family park. They have a log flume there, which is pretty cool. um, the Rolo coaster is their main attraction. It's their best ride, and it's a good old school wooden family coaster. Has actually a really surprising turn to as you turn around to go back to the station, and it's just like an unbanked like turn that has quite a few laterals, and you're going downwards, and it's kind of forceful, I guess. So they added these weird things to the trains because of like an accident or something. So there's like these things sticking up on the side of the seats that are really weird and obnoxious looking. So, all right. Okay. By the way, I see see somebody asking a question here. I'm not doing the Q&A yet. I have one more trivia question to go. So, yeah, Idlewild is really charming. And I don't mean to like undermine it. Like it really is a nice park. At least that's what I remember from when I went like 10 years ago or whatever. Like I do remember it being very nice, very charming, a really good atmosphere. And it really is genuinely a very good family amusement park. But there's nothing that would make you want to drive out of your way, to go get the credits there or anything like that. So yeah. And actually Idlewild is not that far from Kennywood. And it's operated by the same chain as Lake Compounce as well. Kennywood, Lake Compounce, Idlewild, they're all operated by the same chain. So all right. My other trivia question for tonight is which Cedar Fair park? Okay, well, first I need to say thank you to Chris, my friend Chris, for this question because he asked me this and I didn't know it. Um, so this is his question, and this is a great question here. Which Cedar Fair park has more defunct roller coasters than operating roller coasters? It is not Cedar Point or Geauga Lake. Tim K, yeah, I did address that. They did put crazy safety features on roller coasters. They have those big, like, obnoxious things that are on the sides of the train now. And actually, Ace took away their classic coaster, whatever designation because of that. So, not Kings Island. we're just, we're probably gonna go through all of the Cedar Fair parks to get the answer. Not Knott's. But yeah, we're just going through all the Cedar Fair parks. Nope. None of those. None of you guys have it yet. Nope. Nope. A Cedar Fair park, more defunct coasters than operating roller coasters. It is not Cedar Point or Geauga Lake. You guys are getting all of them except for the park that it actually is. It's one of the oldest operating parks in the US, actually. So no, it's a Cedar Fair park. It's not Knoebels. It's a Cedar Fair park. Not Michigan's Adventure. That's a good guess though. Not Michigan's Adventure. Not CGA. Dorney, yes, Michael has it. I guess that counts for something. Dorney is it. Um, yeah, Dorney Park, actually, which is in Allentown, Pennsylvania. It opened in 1884, so it has a lot of history. And Dorney Park has 10 former coasters to their name, while they only have 7 currently operating coasters. So yeah. 10 defunct, 7 operating coasters. It's cool, Aaron. It's cool. Your mom and dad met at Dorney Park. Nice, nice. Yeah, that's actually, and it's funny. I was thinking it was funny, but I couldn't say anything during the first trivia question because it would have given away the answer for this one. But a lot of people were guessing Dorney Park for the 4th oldest operating in the U.S. It was a good guess. It is one of the oldest operating in the U.S., but not the 4th. So very nice, Aaron. Very nice. Yes, Cyberfox. Dorney still has Demon Drop. So I rode Demon Drop a couple times when it was at Cedar Point. So glad I got to ride that. And I'll ride it again if I'm supposed to be going to Dorney Park this year, actually. So so yeah, I think yeah, Cyberfox says he loved Demon Drop at CP. All right. All right, so now that we have our trivia questions out of the way, um I think we can move on to the Q&A. So, we're just going to open this up. You guys can ask me questions about whatever. Try to think of like interesting questions to ask me. I know people like to ask me like thoughts on this, thoughts on that. Are you going to this place? Are you going to that place? And all that stuff's good. I'm not saying don't ask those questions, but if you have any interesting questions you want to ask, even if they're not coaster related, it's all open. So, what would happen if El Toro turned into Hell Toro? Um, that's actually a pretty cool name, so I probably wouldn't be that mad. Tim K says Demon Drop should be considered a coaster. Um, yeah, I know a lot of people do consider Demon Drop a coaster credit. I've never really I mean, I understand why it is, and I guess maybe it is considered. I don't have it counted on mine. What do you guys all think about that? I really don't know what to think about it. Like, a I wouldn't consider Demon Drop a rankable coaster in any way, but I could maybe see it being a credit, I guess. I would have never thought of that though. I just heard people saying they counted it as a credit, and I'm like, should I count this? I really don't know. What are you guys' thoughts on considering Demon Drop at Dorney Park a coaster credit? It's that like first generation, I believe, Intamin Freefall Tower. Okay, so coaster count does consider it a coaster. Okay. I actually just set up a coaster count account recently. I haven't really utilized it yet. It seems kind of a pain to go in and add everything in there, but I already have a document anyway on my computer that has all my credits that I keep up with. So, Theme Park Media is asking if I were to build any coaster model, what's the top three I'd want to make? I'm assuming you mean like if I started from scratch with like a new park or something. I guess I would want to have um let's see. What would I want to have? That's kind of tough actually. I guess an Intamin prefab, even though I haven't been on El Toro yet. It just seems like it would be awesome to have. So I g- I guess an Intamin prefab Woody. Um Maybe an Intamin Giga, like something along the lines of I-305, and I guess an RMC hybrid, like a ground up hybrid, I guess. Also, Zach, I didn't mean to ignore what you said earlier, but I just forgot to acknowledge it. You asked if I'd be down to do a coaster theory. Absolutely. Let's do a coaster theory video. Why not? Beast at Kings Island or Voyage at Holiday World? Voyage. Voyage or El Toro? Haven't been on El Toro yet, so Voyage. Kyle says, does Demon Drop count as one of their 7 operating roller coasters? No, not by what I was going off of, because I was going off of RCDB. And Demon Drop is not considered a coaster by RCDB. So I guess if you consider it, they would have 8. but still they still have more defunct. So is Voyage smoother than the Beast? No, I didn't think so. Voyage is just so intense. Now, Voyage has been completely retracked for this season, so hope hopefully I can make it to Holiday World this year. I haven't been there for 5 years. Hopefully I can get there, get a ride on the Voyage again. Maybe it will be smoother since they did a complete retracking. I don't know. Okay, this is a good one. Oh wait, Rings of Saturn or Infinite Annihilator. I'm gonna say Infinite Annihilator because I'm more familiar with them and I've heard more. Infinite Annihilator's last album, Battle of Yaldabaoth from 2019. Wow, that was actually one of the best albums of the year, in my opinion. Me and my friend were really surprised by how good that album was. It was great, great death metal album. Um, all right, so Cash Register is asking if I count Rebel Yell at King's Dominion, Racer 75 as it's now known, and the Racer at Kings Island, do I count those as two coasters? So basically, the question here is, do I consider racing coasters with two separate tracks, 2 credits or 1 credit? Personally, I only count them as 1 credit. I'm gonna do a video at some point talking about how I count coasters, but um I just to me, like counting a ride like Gemini as 2 credits or Racer 75, that's just like an easy cop out to me, like just to like beef up my credit count for no reason really. To me, it's like to me, those coasters specifically are like they're one ride experience. Um, and I know people are gonna argue with that point too, but I guess it's just a personal thing. Honestly, who really cares? It's all about having fun. But it's to me, if they're basically if it's a racing coaster with 2 tracks, they both have the same exact layout, even if they're like mirrored, like like the turnarounds go in different directions and they split up or whatever. To me, it's all one ride. It's all together. I mean, it has the same name. Everything is together. The whole ride experience is together. So to me personally, I only feel like I can count it as 1 credit. So all right. Um Kyle asked me, or he says, I have plans to start my own YouTube channel. Do you have any advice for me? Okay, what I'm gonna tell you to do is I love helping people out and I'd be glad to help you out. Um, but instead of doing it on here, if you could, you can either find me on my page on Facebook or on Instagram, and you can message me on there, and we can go from there. So I'd love to help you out. It's a free consultation, and then after that, I only charge like $1,000 or so for any advice. No, I'm just joking. It's all free. So yeah, I'd love to help you out. Like I said, shoot me a message from Facebook or Instagram, and I'll help you out. Do I think Dueling Dragons would count as 2 credits? That is one that I would have counted. That's an example where I would count it as 2 credits because they're two totally different layouts. So it's like it's two totally different experiences, and I can absolutely see that. But I just can't see it for like Racer or Gemini or things like that. You know, Stanford Bridge has a good question here. What's an example of a Woody that's rough in a bad way and one that's rough in a good way, if that's a possibility for you? I definitely get it. I think wooden coasters are good. It's good for them to be rough because they have that out of control experience. They feel like a wooden coaster. But at the same time, there's that threshold where it just becomes too rough to where it's just painful. So, something that I would say, um, there's actually a few examples I have of rides that are just rough in an absolutely terrible way. A lot of them are defunct, and they are for a good reason. Those are Mean Streak, um, Raging Wolf Bobs at Geauga Lake. Unfortunately, Villain was super rough too. Very badly rough. Even though it had an amazing layout, I would have loved to like that ride, but so rough. Um, and those are the ones. Now, Grizzly at King's Dominion is a really, really rough it'd probably be painful for a lot of people. It's a very rough ride. I personally enjoy it, but I can see why people wouldn't like it because it is so rough. Now, wooden coasters that I think are rough in a good way are Ravine Flyer 2, very rough, out of control ride, but it works with the ride and it's not painful, but it's rough, but it's not painful. Um, Another one, um, let's see, what are some other good rough ones? I would say Beast, but honestly, I can't because I didn't find the Beast to be rough. I hear everybody complaining about how rough the Beast is. I I don't see it. Um, I love the Beast. I actually thought it was a pretty intense ride compared to what some people say. Um, but I mean, it was rough enough, like it felt like a wooden coaster, but I didn't find it painful in any way, like people paint it to be. So, let's see. Cash Register says, "Do you think that it's acceptable that the enthusiasts, meaning us roller coaster enthusiasts, sometimes get mad at the GP for being GP?" So, do I think it's ridiculous to get mad at the general public for being general public? Abso-freaking-lutely. It's absolutely ridiculous. The general public are the people that make up the significant portion of visitors to amusement parks. When these huge corporate chains make business decisions to add these massive coasters and things like that, they're not trying to please coaster enthusiasts in most case. In most cases, there are definitely rides that I could say are probably catered more towards enthusiasts than they typically would be, but they're still GP rides. When parks make these decisions, they're looking at what the general public wants out of a ride and what they're looking at when they see a coaster or any type of ride. Enthusiasts probably make up at a typical amusement park like 1%, if that, of the visitors. And I'm just throwing a number out there. I don't actually know, but I'm just saying enthusiasts are very niche. It's just like we're a little tiny dot, like, in the whole grand scheme of things, you know? Exactly, Tim. GP buy the rides. The general public, they flock to the parks, spend tons of money. They keep these parks going. Honestly, we should be thanking the GP, the general public, for all of these massive investments because without them, we wouldn't have Steel Vengeance. We wouldn't have even Orion. We wouldn't have Banshee. We wouldn't have I mean any ride at all. Even not the major ones really, but any ride. Um that those are the people who make the money, us enthusiasts, we buy these passes, so we spend one flat price and we go to all these different parks, and we throw money here and there with like merch and stuff, but we're not making barely any money for these parks. So um people need to take a step back and realize what they're saying. And I get that, sometimes it's kind of fun to poke fun at GP, like, haha, and it is funny, like the stuff that the GP audience says at theme parks, it's really funny for us. It really is. But, you know, why would most people know who manufactured a certain ride or, anything like that? I mean, I was GP at one time. We were all GP at one time. So Banshee or Afterburn? Afterburn, definitely. Michael Ranella says Trivium. Yeah, Trivium. They're actually my favorite band. So I'm excited you brought them up, but I'm not sure exactly what you're going for. You just commented their name with no context. So, but yeah, Trivium is my favorite band. I love Trivium. So I've seen them live 3 times actually. So Tim K liked the villain, but didn't write it after the first year. Yeah, I'm sure in the first year it was great. It had um Villain had a fantastic layout. And actually I watched a POV of it, about a year or so ago. And it actually I realized how similar the layout of Villain is to Ghost Rider, Knott's Berry Farm. They have really similar layouts, both very long rides. Villain could have been an excellent ride. I just think it wasn't maintained well. So, and it had Gerstlauer trains on it. Coaster Lover 2001 says, "We're all GP at something. I'm GP with sports, just like Taylor from Coaster Studios." Um, yeah, yeah, absolutely. I'm GP with sports as well, actually. I don't know anything about sports. I do not enjoy sports really in any capacity. So yeah, we're definitely all GP with many things. So nobody is an expert at everything. And you don't have all of these. I mean, maybe some of them, but not a large portion of them. You don't have all these sports fanatics um walking around and looking at people like me out in public and going, "Oh, they're so GP. Oh, they don't know this player's record from this one. They're so GP." You don't see them making jokes about that, right? That would just be weird. So, what is the heaviest song? I don't know. That's a really broad question to answer. Hey, thanks for joining me, Coaster Lover. Thank you for being here. Enjoy Theme Park Crazy's live stream. I'm sure his will be great. Um, Great channel. So, Aaron asking me what's my opinion on Smiler. I've never been on it, never even been to the UK, so I don't know. I can't say from personal experience. I think it looks like a fun ride. It doesn't look like something I would rank that highly, but it looks like a good coaster. Looks like a fine ride. So yeah, it is weird that it never has been cloned, I guess. It's so compact and it would just fit in with a lot of parks, I feel like. Maybe it will be cloned eventually, who knows? Cash Register is asking my opinion on rap music. So, my opinion on rap music. Here's my philosophy when it comes to music in general. I believe that there is no such thing as a guilty pleasure. To me, if something is good or if you like something, that's fine. Like I like a lot of music that most people would consider garbage. Like there are things I listen to that I know like objectively they're not great at all, but I just enjoy them and I listen to them because I don't care. If I like it, if I enjoy it, I'll listen to it. I'll jam to it. So when it comes to rap music, I mean it's a whole genre. It's a very broad question. I enjoy some rap music. I'm not an expert when it comes to rap music in any way, but I listen to it here and there. I've been listening to rap recently, like in my car and stuff. Some newer artists. A lot of the rap I listen to is like newer stuff. So I mean, rap is I mean, great rap is great rap. You know, just like great music is great music. There's awful rap music. There's some awful rap music even that I enjoy that I know is bad, but I enjoy it, so I listen to it. Um, if that makes any sense to anybody. And there's really fantastic, like cream of the crop rap music, just like there's absolutely terrible heavy metal. Um, and there's fantastic heavy metal. It's just whatever is good is good. So that's my opinion. What Michael asks, what coaster reminds me of Meshuggah? Oh man. Probably X2. I would have to say X2 reminds me of Meshuggah. Cyberfax has an interesting question. Do I ever listen to station music on the trip to a park? So I'm guessing like FM music. Yeah, I have in the past. Now that I have Spotify and I can listen to that in my car, I probably won't be listening to like any station music whatsoever. But yeah, I mean, I'll tune in. I might still even tune in, you know, listen to things here and there, but typically in the past I have listened to some station music, but I also would bring my CDs or whatever and listen to my own music. Okay, Insane Coaster Junkie is back again stealing my viewers. And he says, "Me and my fans ask if a rock metal band was a roller coaster, what and who would it be?" Um Well, we have that. um, we have the Rock and Roller Coaster at the Disney parks that are based on Aerosmith, a rock band. So there you go. See you, Michael. My opinion on X2. I haven't been on it. I would love to get on it. One of my top bucket list coasters. Oh, okay. Cyberfox. I see what you're saying. Okay, so Cyberfox actually meant he didn't mean FM stations. He's talking about like roller coaster station music, like the Millennium Force theme song, for example. Do I listen to that on the way to a park like CP? Honestly, no, I don't. Yeah, that's a pretty dorky thing. I could see myself doing something like that, but I never have. The Millennium Force theme song is the ringtone on my phone, though. So, fun fact: Coaster Daddy's ringtone is the Millennium Force theme song. Uh, Tim K, I see you've been watching a certain podcast, huh? You wouldn't happen to be watching your favorite coaster sucks, would you? Now, before I answer your question, Tim, I actually haven't announced this in any way yet, but you guys are the first to hear this. Um, and Tim K just made me think of this, and that's why I'm bringing it up. So a while back, the guys from Your Favorite Coaster Sucks podcast, which is available on Spotify. I'm not sure where it's available, like all the platforms it's on, but it's on Spotify. Your Favorite Coaster Sucks. It's a great podcast. Um, oh, you never heard of that? Okay, but Your Favorite Coaster Sucks. I'm gonna be featured on their podcast, and we are recording an episode sometime late this month. So sometime later in February, we're going to be recording an episode. So I don't know when it's going to be up, but they release a new episode every Friday. It's a pretty new podcast. They have like maybe 20 episodes currently. But definitely go check it out if you haven't. They featured Airtime Thrills on there, El Toro Ryan, Airtime Mike, One Train Ops. They've had a lot of great people on there. So, okay, but back to Tim's question. Do I think coasters should be considered wood or steel, or do I think hybrid wood on steel or steel on wood is a separate coaster type? To me, it's just wood and steel, plain and simple. Wood track, wood coaster, steel track, steel coaster. And then of course there's like the RMC topper track, which is your favorite Coaster Sucks podcast. They ask everybody on there whether they think there should be a separate classification for hybrid for like those topper track coasters. To me, they're wood. I consider them wood. I rode Lightning Rod, and even though it was a very smooth wooden coaster, I thought it still felt like a wooden coaster. So to me, there's no doubt in my mind. Coaster Lover 2001 says, have you heard of a YouTuber named GP2 Enthusiast? Yes, I have. I'm subscribed to him and I do watch his content. He actually works as a ride op at Cedar Point. He worked for Gemini last year. Yeah, I wonder if I ever seen him because I mean I was at Cedar Point all the time, so I would like to know if I saw him, and I'll definitely have to talk to him at some point. I don't know if he is aware of my channel at all or anything, but it's pretty cool. And Coaster Lover 2001 also says that GP2 Enthusiasts channel is great for educating the GP and new enthusiasts about roller coasters and amusement parks. Absolutely. He does a phenomenal job going in depth about like accidents and stuff like that and just general education things when it comes to roller coasters and amusement parks. Definitely go check his channel out. Yeah, his debunked videos are great. He ended that series recently cuz it's just he's just kind of retreading the same things over and over at this point. But those debunked videos are fantastic and really informative, yeah. Oh, I didn't realize he did live streams. That's cool. Does anybody else have any interesting questions they want to ask me? Anything off the beaten path maybe? I I like talking about just I like interesting questions. Do you guys have any? Um I guess I have a favorite one. It'd probably be Coaster Radio, and they've been doing it the longest. They've been around since like 2005. So they're very experienced, they're very professional. It's like an actual like radio show where they like set everything up really professionally. It sounds great. Um but actually I didn't even listen to one coaster podcast at all until I listened to Your Favorite Coaster Sucks in late December of 2019. So I'm very new to the world of coaster podcasts, and I've listened to a handful of them, like Coaster Bot Rambles, um, Your Favorite Coaster Sucks, Coaster Radio, Ride This One. So there's quite a few out there. There's a lot that I haven't listened to either, but I really enjoy Coaster Radio. And Your Favorite Coaster Sucks is great as well. They're both great in different ways. So yeah. What are your favorites? Do you guys have any really good coaster podcasts you listen to that maybe I don't know about? Because I would like to know about more. Gary T asks, "Am I joining Ace this year?" Yes, I am joining Ace at some point soon. Yeah, it is amazing. Well, I guess in a way. Cyberfox says it's amazing. Wait, where to go? It's amazing how many accidents happen at Disney compared to other parks. In a way, it's surprising, but also not really, because Disney parks are so highly attended that it's just prone to be more they're prone to more accidents. And really it's probably not that bad proportionally when you think of like the amount of people that visit a Disney park versus the amount of people that visit a Cedar Fair park every year. So, my favorite fruit, an apple. What editing software do I use? I use Adobe Premiere Pro 6. I have the Adobe 6 Creative Suite. I use Adobe Illustrator to make my thumbnails and Adobe Premiere Pro to edit my videos together. Um, I'm never going to buy the Adobe Creative Cloud subscription. If I ever feel like I need to stop using Adobe Premiere 6, I'm just going to find like a free software to use because there's so many great softwares out there that are really cheap or they're free. And I do not like the Adobe subscription service idea. That's just ridiculous. So, Cyberfox, any good suggestions for cameras for vlogging or maybe hidden cams? I'm not the person to ask about that, unfortunately. I don't do any videos like that. So, and I'm not that knowledgeable about like cameras and things like that. But I wish I had it here with me. I would show you guys. Maybe I'll do that next week or something. But the camera that I actually use when I go to parks to like, it's a point and shoot camera. It's a Sony. Um, can't remember exactly what it's called, but it's from like 2012, and I bought it basically new on eBay a little over a year ago for like 50 bucks. But it's a really nice Sony point and shoot camera. It takes amazing videos, great photos. Those are like the photos that you see in my reviews and things like that. And I also have started throwing in some videos. I've taken more videos recently, and you'll see some of my video clips too. Um, but it's, it's a point and shoot digital camera. It's nothing like a vlogging camera or a hidden camera in any way. Okay. What is my opinion on the future of historic steel coasters? We've got a number of woodies that will hit 100 years old, but that's not possible with steel, is it? Um, I think it's possible with steel. I think we'll see a lot of steel coasters hit 100 years old, hopefully anyway. Um, I think certain rides they're going to try to keep around for as long as possible, like Millennium Force. Um, Magnum hopefully will be around for 100 years. It's an arrow, so I'm kind of hesitant about saying that, but yeah. I don't know. I don't know. That's an interesting question to think about. Maybe I'll do a video about that, like what steel coasters that I think could possibly hit 100 years at some point. So, thanks for that idea. Maybe I'll do that, maybe I won't. I don't know. The Coaster Scoop is asking me, how long is the total process of making one of your videos? Like like doing the scripting, recording, and editing. So with my videos, it's all different, and I don't have any strict like uploading schedule that I follow, but usually um I write a script. Sometimes I work on scripts for a really long time. I actually I haven't uploaded that right now. But typically I'll spend about 1 day working on a script, not like a full day continuously, but I'll spend like maybe I don't know, an hour and a half altogether working on a script, 2 hours maybe. But typically, it takes me about 3 or 4 days. I would say about 3 days to go from writing a script and finishing it to recording the audio, then editing the audio, and then editing the video together and making the thumbnail and uploading it. Typically, that takes about 3 days for me, 3 or 4 days maybe. Super Duper Looper, yeah, that'd be a good one. That could survive 100 years, I think. I think a lot of the Schwarzkopf coasters actually we could see a lot of those sticking around for a very long time. Do I see any modern day Woodies getting RMC'd? Oh man, it's kind of tough to think about. I think maybe in 20 years or so, some of them could potentially be RMC'd if that's like still a relevant thing in the industry. I mean, I can't see it right now because I don't see. I mean, I think maybe some of them will get to the point where they just get really bad, but I couldn't give you any specific examples offhand. Yeah, it's gonna be very weird not seeing Vortex in that spot at Kings Island. It's gonna be sad. Yeah, I really wish they would have saved the station just for something. It was so historic and everything, but I understand that there probably wasn't much of a reason for them to keep it either. Hey, airplane fan 987. I do remember you. How you doing? Have you been on any of my live streams before? I can't remember. I think you have. How do you join Ace? You can join, like, you fill out a thing online and they mail you a card, basically, I guess. So my friend just did it. He got a card in the mail. Yeah, Aaron, the RMC definitely does make a lot of sense for parks, I just don't know how relevant like RMCs and things like that'll be like 20 years from now or whatever. Um or maybe it won't even be that long. Like, hopefully the newer wooden coasters out there will survive for a long time without getting that bad. But can they RMC classic arrows? That'd be amazing if they could do that. That'd be awesome to see. But RMC works with the flat, steel track versus the tubular steel, so we won't be seeing that anytime soon, I don't think. Do I see an RMC conversion of a coaster and using their topper track versus their iBox steel track? Not really. I don't see that happening. Yeah, Phantom's Revenge is kind of like, you know, the RMC before RMC. I mean, that opened the year RMC was formed, but at that time, RMC was a company that built other companies' coasters, and that's what they did until they started building their own rides. So 10 years later, just hammer it out. Yeah. Make that track nice and flat. When do I think the T-Rex model will come out? I think it'll be a couple more years before we see one open. Like 2022 at the earliest, I feel like. Maybe 2023. I guess they're still developing it, so I don't know. Yeah, RMC did build El Toro for Intamin. Yes, they constructed that ride. They built many rides, so All right, guys, this has been fantastic. Again, thank you guys for joining me. I'm going to end this live stream now. So I will see you guys next week. I'll do this again on Saturday at 8 p.m. as usual for Coaster Cafe episode 5. So once again, thank you all for joining me tonight, and you guys have a great one. All right, this is Coaster Daddy. Bye.